tie as it is also dissolves fear. Fear grows in shadows and in imagined possibilities, but adversity is not punishment, it is the most honest teacher you will ever encounter. Every challenge, every setback, and every failure carries within it a message meant to awaken understanding and sharpen awareness. Life does not create obstacles to stop you, it creates them to show you what you have not yet mastered within yourself. To learn from adversity, you must stop resisting it and begin observing it, not as something to blame, but as a mirror reflecting your current state of being. Every difficulty holds a hidden opportunity for growth. When a situation pushes you to your limits, it exposes both your weaknesses and your untapped potential. The pain of struggle is temporary, but the insight it brings lasts a lifetime. Those who rise strong are not those who avoid challenges, but those who lean into them, extracting the lessons that transform hardship into a source of strength. Understanding adversity turns fear into awareness and suffering into empowerment. Challenges demand clarity and honesty. To truly learn from adversity, you must see yourself without illusions, acknowledging your mistakes, limitations, and patterns that have kept you stuck. It is not enough to simply endure, growth requires reflection, insight, and conscious action. Each failure becomes a teacher when examined with awareness, guiding you toward a wiser and more resilient version of yourself. Adversity also teaches patience and timing. Often, the lessons are not immediate. They unfold slowly, like a seed growing beneath the soil before breaking through to the light. Impatience or frustration clouds understanding, while mindful observation reveals the rhythm of learning hidden in struggle. Every moment of difficulty carries the potential to strengthen your judgment, refine your choices, and expand your capacity to navigate life with composure and intelligence. When lessons are embraced and applied, obstacles are no longer barriers but stepping stones. Every challenge you face becomes an opportunity to deepen your resilience, sharpen your perception, and grow stronger in character. Learning from adversity transforms the landscape of life, turning storms into teachers and trials into tools. Those who master this art do not merely survive, they rise, empowered by the wisdom only struggle can provide. Fear is not an enemy to be defeated, it is a signal pointing to the edges of your comfort and the limits of your perceived self. It arises naturally whenever you approach the unknown, the uncertain or the untested. Most people treat fear as a barrier, believing that safety lies in avoiding it. But in truth, fear is a compass showing where growth is possible. The moment you stop running from it and instead confront it with awareness, fear begins to lose its grip and reveals the strength that has always been inside you. Fear grows in the mind when it is fed by stories of what might go wrong. The mind imagines failure, humiliation, or loss, and these imagined scenarios become more real than the present moment. To rise strong, you must separate reality from imagination, understanding that fear is often a projection rather than a truth. Courage is not the absence of these thoughts, it is the conscious choice to act despite them, to move forward when every instinct screams to retreat. Every act taken in the presence of fear strengthens the inner self. Each time you step into uncertainty, each time you face discomfort without turning away, the power within you grows. Fear begins to transform from a restricting force into a teacher, guiding you to expand your capacities. When you embrace fear rather than resist it, it becomes a doorway rather than a wall, leading to new understanding, skill and resilience that could not have been developed otherwise. Fear also tests clarity. When it dominates, decisions are clouded by hesitation and doubt. But when faced with awareness and determination, fear sharpens your focus and heightens perception. It becomes a tool to measure your readiness, to show where preparation is needed and to push you to take responsibility for your own power. Acting in spite of fear strengthens not just courage, but also discernment and wisdom. The mastery of fear is not in eliminating it, but in commanding it to serve rather than control. Each step you take in its presence teaches you that true courage is not a heroic absence of fear, but the disciplined and conscious choice to act when fear is unavoidable. By confronting fear directly, you transform it into fuel, using it to rise, to grow and to expand beyond limitations that once seemed insurmountable. Courage, in this sense, is the art of moving forward while fully aware of the fear that surrounds you. The present moment is the only reality you truly possess. The mind constantly pulls you backward into memory or forward into worry, and in doing so, it steals your energy and clarity. True, strength arises when you refuse to be controlled by what has already passed or what may come. To stay present is to anchor yourself in awareness, to engage fully with the life that is unfolding right now. Only here, in this exact moment, can hope arise and action take root. Clinging to the past creates shadows that distort your perception. Memories of mistakes, regrets, or losses may feel heavy and convincing, but they exist only as thoughts, not as your current reality. Each time you let the past dominate your attention, you divert energy that could be used to shape what is real and possible. Awareness of the present allows you to release these mental weights and reclaim the power that has always been available right under your own consciousness. Worrying about the future is equally limiting. The mind conjures scenarios, imagines threats, and magnifies uncertainty, creating a storm that does not yet exist. By surrendering to the present moment, you refuse to invest energy in illusions of what might be. Hope does not dwell in potential or fantasy, it grows in attentive action, in the clarity that comes from fully inhabiting the now. Each conscious breath, each mindful step becomes a conduit for resilience and possibility. Staying present is not passive, it requires vigilance and discipline. It is the practice of observing your thoughts without being consumed by them, of engaging with life as it occurs rather than as a projection of fear or desire. Awareness acts as a stabilizing force, allowing you to navigate chaos without being swept away by distraction or anxiety. Every challenge becomes manageable when you respond from the grounded space of presence rather than reacting from the turbulence of past or future. Hope and clarity are inseparable from presence. When you remain rooted in the current moment, you discover the resources, insight, and courage that have always existed within you. Time spent dwelling on what was or what may be only obscures the potential of what is. The present is the field in which your actions bear fruit. Your strength is renewed and your capacity to rise strong is fully realized. Awareness of now transforms uncertainty into opportunity and fear into fuel for growth. Resilience is not something that appears suddenly, it is cultivated through repeated effort, discipline, and conscious choice. Life will inevitably test your mental, emotional, and spiritual limits, and those who rise strong are the ones who have trained themselves to endure without being broken. Each challenge you face becomes a rehearsal for the next, shaping your capacity to remain steady, focused, and unshaken even when circumstances are chaotic. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, it is about developing the inner infrastructure to meet it head-on. Mental resilience begins with clarity of thought and the ability to observe situations without being consumed by them. The mind must learn to distinguish between what is real and what is imagined, between what can be influenced and what must be accepted. When you train the mind to remain focused and unclouded by distraction or fear, you create a foundation that can withstand the most unpredictable storms. Mental resilience allows you to act with precision, make decisions rooted in awareness, and maintain composure when the world attempts to pull you into confusion. Emotional resilience is the ability to feel deeply without being overwhelmed. Life will provoke anger, sadness, disappointment and fear, and those emotions, if uncontrolled, can derail progress. Rising strong requires the capacity to acknowledge these emotions fully, to experience them without judgment, and to let them pass without allowing them to dominate your actions. Emotional resilience transforms intensity into insight, pain into understanding, and turbulence into a steady source of motivation. Spiritual resilience is the anchor that connects all layers of your being to something larger than circumstance. It is the understanding that life is a continuous flow and that every challenge, loss, or uncertainty has a place in your evolution. Spiritual resilience allows you to face adversity without losing your center, to trust the process even when outcomes are unknown, and to maintain hope and purpose despite external chaos. It is this deeper connection that provides the unwavering strength to keep moving forward. Resilience, in its totality, is not a single quality, but a practice of alignment between mind, heart, and spirit. Each moment of uncertainty is an opportunity to exercise it, each obstacle a chance to reinforce it, and each setback a chance to deepen it. Those who cultivate resilience rise stronger not because life has spared them, but because they have learned to endure, adapt, and transform every difficulty into a source of power and clarity. It is the consistent practice of resilience that enables one to navigate uncertainty with courage and emerge more capable than before. Life moves in rhythms that are often invisible to the mind, yet everything unfolds according to a pattern that is beyond our comprehension. What appears as chaos or misfortune is rarely random, it is part of a larger current that is shaping, teaching, and directing you. When you resist the flow, you expend energy against a force far greater than yourself, creating struggle instead of clarity. Trusting life's movement allows you to conserve strength and act from a place of alignment rather than reaction. Even in moments of intense difficulty, there is a pulse beneath the apparent disorder, guiding events toward outcomes that serve growth and learning. The mind often wants immediate answers or clear guarantees, but life's intelligence operates on a scale and timing that cannot be forced. To align with it, you must release the need for control and allow experiences to unfold as they are meant to. Trust is not passive surrender, it is conscious recognition that every moment, no matter how uncomfortable, carries potential. Faith in life's flow does not mean ignoring responsibility or avoiding action. It means acting with awareness and presence while remaining unattached to results. You respond to circumstances with clarity because you understand that effort and surrender are not opposites but partners. Every step taken in alignment with the current of life is more powerful than resistance because it harnesses the unseen forces at work rather than working against them. The deeper your awareness of life's movement, the more you begin to see that nothing is wasted and nothing is truly random. Setbacks, delays, and hardships are all threads woven into the fabric of a larger purpose. By trusting the process, you develop patience and perspective, allowing the unfolding of events to reveal lessons and opportunities that were hidden in moments of struggle. Each experience becomes a teacher, each challenge a guide, and each uncertainty a doorway to growth. Living in trust of life's flow creates freedom from the constant anxiety of needing to control everything. You begin to act with intentionality rather than desperation, to move with rhythm rather than friction, and to see yourself as part of a dynamic whole rather than a solitary actor struggling against forces beyond comprehension. This trust transforms uncertainty into possibility, difficulty into strength, and the constant movement of life into a steady, reliable companion for growth and transformation. Every action taken in life carries weight, but not all action carries power. Many move hastily, reacting to circumstances with panic, fear, or habit, and in doing so, they scatter their energy and weaken their impact. True strength arises when actions are rooted in clarity, when each movement is guided by awareness rather than compulsion. Clarity allows you to see the path before you, discern what is necessary, and act with precision rather than chaos. Impulsive reactions often create more problems than they solve. The mind, when clouded by emotion or distraction, interprets situations imperfectly and responds in ways that lead to regret or repeated struggle. To act with clarity is to pause long enough to observe, understand, and choose deliberately. Strength is cultivated not in constant motion, but in mindful motion, where every decision is informed by perception and intention. Change is the constant rhythm of life, moving whether we resist it or not. Every situation, every relationship, every circumstance is subject to transformation, and the resistance to this truth is what creates suffering. Those who rise strong understand that change is not a punishment or a disruption, but the very mechanism through which growth occurs. By accepting change, you align yourself with life's movement rather than struggling against it, allowing energy to flow toward creation rather than stagnation. Fear often masks itself as caution when faced with change. The mind imagines loss, failure, or uncertainty and convinces you that holding on to the familiar is safer. Yet clinging to what is familiar only narrows your vision and limits your potential. True courage is the willingness to step into the unknown, to face transformation without attachment to the outcome, and to recognize that every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning. Change demands flexibility of thought and fluidity of action. Those who cling rigidly to old ways, habits, or beliefs often find themselves broken by the very circumstances they resist. Embracing change requires the ability to adapt while maintaining clarity of purpose. It is not about abandoning principles, but about allowing circumstances to refine understanding and reveal paths that fear would have kept hidden. Through change, life teaches discernment and depth. Each transformation, whether welcomed or forced, reveals what is essential and what is unnecessary. By moving with change consciously, you develop resilience, sharpen judgment, and cultivate a broader perspective. The more you embrace it, the more you discover that change is not an obstacle but a teacher, providing lessons that comfort and stability could never offer. When you face hardship, the world strips away distractions and exposes the essence of what drives you. Comfort and routine often obscure your true purpose, but difficulty forces awareness. In moments of struggle, you are presented with the opportunity to evaluate your values, priorities, and intentions. Purpose is revealed not in ease, but in how you respond when life demands more than you thought you could give. Each challenge becomes a mirror, showing not only your limitations, but also the depths of your potential.